Good morning everyone. Myself Anusha and my seminar topic is Modern Monetary Theory. COVID-19 pandemic is not only affected the health of the people all over the world, but it has also severely affected the global economy and financial market. It totally interrupted the economic activities. Because of that, many businesses are closed down, which increases the unemployment problem, which directly affected the economic growth of the country. The government has introduced many new economic models to fund the economic downturn during the time of COVID-19 pandemic, and government spending have increased over the period to come out of this challenging situation. Modern monetary theory is a heterodox macroeconomic framework. According to this theory, since a sovereign country can borrow in its own currency, it can print as much as money needed to pay off all its debt. Modern monetary theory is an economic theory which suggests that the sovereign countries like US, UK, Japan, and Canada could simply print more money without consequences as it is the sole issuer of the currency. The core idea behind the MMT is the government with sovereignty should expand its fiscal deficit and print it over. According to the proponents of this theory, the government budget should not be like a regular household budget. The government should not frame policies with the fear of rising national debt, because that, according to them, debt is no longer matter as the government can print more money to pay off all its debt, and the another and the government cannot run out of the money like an individual or company. The another core idea behind this theory is to achieve the objective of full employment. Unemployment is considered as a major issue all over the world. But according to the MMT theory, the government should provide minimum wage job to those who are should provide minimum job to those who are looking for the job and unable to find a job. The another core idea behind the MMT is that the taxes for the government are not a revenue collection tool, but it is a demand control tool, so inflation can be reduced. Usually, the government uses taxes collected or borrow by selling the bonds to the private sector investors like pension funds and insurance companies. But according to the modern monetary theory, the government should not depend on taxes to spend on economic welfare activities. Instead, it can go for printing more money so that it will reduce the tax burden on the people. History of MMT. It was not a new concept, but it has got popularity during the time of COVID-19, when the economy, as it affected the economic growth of the countries all over the world. It was originally coined by Bill Mitchell, an Australian economist, and Warren Mosler, an American economist during 1992. During 2019, politician Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said that MMT should be a larger part of conversation as it related to the balancing the federal budget. During the COVID-19 pandemic, MMT has become more popular. In 2020, Stephanie Kelton, an American economist who is considered as influential advocate of MMT in the recent year, she has written a book. She has written a brief introduction about the MMT in her book, The Deficit Myth, Modern Money Theory, and the Birth of People's Economy. Criticism of MMT. Printing money to pay off the debt. When a country goes for printing the money, according to the proponents of MMT, when the government runs shortage of money, it can able it may go for printing more money so that it can achieve the economic development. But the critics argue that implementation of MMT may cause inflation and higher inflation, because when people are getting more employment and people are getting employment, their income increases, so that their purchasing power also increases. When the people's purchasing power increases, it affect there is an also increase in the prices of the goods and services, which may lead to the inflation. And higher inflation is not a new problem. Over the decades, many countries like Brazil, Zimbabwe, Venezuela has suffered a lot due to the higher inflation over the period, by printing more money in order to get out of the economic crisis. The another critique is that this theory does not concentrate on developing and underdeveloped countries. The proponents proposed this theory by concentrating only on sovereign countries, like especially uh, by concentrating on US, and it completely ignored the other developing and underdeveloped country. This theory is not fit for the developing and underdeveloping countries, because because they face the balance of payment problem. They rely on foreign currency to pay for the import, as their currency is weaker than other currency. And also, when a country become more and when a country become more and more strong, there is a chance that it may overrule other country. That, according to the critics, printing more money no way increase the economic output. Instead, it increases the money supply, imbalances in the money system, and makes monetary policy ineffective. Conclusion: MMT got popularity during the time of COVID-19 pandemic, as it affected the economic development of the countries of the world. The core idea behind this theory is that the sovereign countries, uh, which are the sole issuer of their currency, so they can go for printing their money in order to pay off its debt to achieve the economic development. Thank you.